What's up? How's it going, YouTube fam? Today we're back at it again and we have a few more things to throw on the Jeep. And I know that you guys are waiting for that lift kit to go on. Trust me, I'm waiting for it too, and it is coming soon. I believe that we've got about 10 more days and we will be putting the lift kit on. So once this video goes live, it will be less than that, should be about a week. So fingers crossed everything goes smooth and we should have that on soon. But today we're going to be doing some more interior mods. The first thing that I will be doing for the interior really. And I figured why not go in and throw in some more lights. And yeah, I know I've been doing a bunch of lights already. But today we've got interior lighting that will go underneath the dash as well as underneath the seats and in the back. Now these are already segmented in strips. As you can see, I've got 6 strips and they're already pre-wired. 2 of them are longer and 4 of them are shorter. So I should be able to wire it up through the whole vehicle. It is made for a 3-row vehicle, so we should be able to do it. And they plug in through just a regular cigarette lighter. But instead of having my cigarette lighter tied up, I got myself an extra plug with an inline fuse. So I'm gonna wire that up, put it inside behind the dash just so I have an extra plug and I don't have to tie up my regular one, and we should be able to put those lights in. So let's go down there, let's jump in the Jeep and let's see how these lights look. Now the reason I didn't want to hardwire them is I already have 2 switches here, one for the grill, one for the rock lights, and I have my fog lights here. So I don't want to be adding too many more because I'm already gonna have 4 more. I don't want to give it away yet, but we will be adding some more accessories. And this I figured will be a lot easier to use since all I have to do is turn it on and off here with the switch that's built in. But I'm planning to run it right here. I'm just gonna lay it down on this section of floor right here and tie it in with zip ties, and hopefully that'll be good enough. If not, I was also thinking of zip tying it up here with this wiring harness just so that it's out of the way, and just in case we get a little bit of moisture or water on the floor, it doesn't affect it. But there is an inline fuse either way, so we should be fine. But I think somewhere in this section right here is probably going to be my best bet. And if you guys have watched my off-roading videos, you know that I use this thing here in the socket here. But this isn't that great. It kind of gives you a crappy quality of sound. It is Bluetooth, which is why I like it, because I'm constantly getting in and out of the vehicle. But I think we are going to switch to the old wired connector. And I know iPhone is a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. And I picked up one of these guys so I can actually charge and play music at the same time. So we should be all right. And these are like $9 on Amazon. I also grabbed a couple sets of green switches. So you see how these ones are red and they glow red? Well, these are going to be green and they're going to glow green for all the lights that are actually green on the car. So on the Jeep, I should say. So that'll be a lot better and it'll look a lot cooler, a little bit cleaner, I think, because the green switches will be for the green lights. And I'll leave the red switches for just the regular, just the white lights. But I think that'll look pretty cool. So what we got to do next is wire in my socket. So basically you've got your regular socket here on the end and you've got a positive and a negative. So let's go wire it under the hood, and I will probably run it through that same hole in the firewall I used earlier when I was wiring these switches, and it should be pretty simple. So let's get that done and then we'll be able to put in the lights. And this guy comes with a 30 amp in there, so that should be more than enough. As well, there is a fuse inside here. If you open this guy up, you can see there's a glass fuse, and I believe that one is a 10 amp or 15 amp, I don't know. But regardless, it should be good either way. And I do have a spare for this, and I have a couple spares here just in case. Well, I got her in there and it is wired up basically as you see there against the firewall and right here. So now we have, oh, there you go. Now we have the plug right there. And basically, let's check if it works. And it works. So now all we have to do is wire up our lights. And I wanted to wire this first because now I don't have to put the key in to get our power. That one is gonna have constant power. So that you also have to keep in mind, if you do wire it the way I'm wiring it, make sure to turn that off before you exit the vehicle or else it'll drain your battery. Hey, the lights work. So like I said, we have 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's one more somewhere on the floor. Basically, I'm thinking if I turn this light off, and they do go white as well as all the other colors, just like any other RGB set of LEDs, but I'm thinking right about there, that should be pretty good. So let's install one there, maybe one along the side here somewhere, and we'll see. But first things first, let's get the front ones done and we'll go from there. Well, I got that side in. Let's see what it looks like. Pretty good. Can't complain. And I put one under the seat there and one under the dash. I think it lights it up pretty good, and it hides the lights so you don't actually see the source of the light, which is what I'm going for. I don't want to see the light bars anywhere or the LEDs. And now let's move on to the driver's side. Finished the front, so pretty much what I've done here is I've wired it right there. As you guys can see, it's sitting pretty much kind of floating. There was already a bracket here for something that the other guy had, or the previous owner put in. I don't know what it was for, but I used that bracket and I tied into the wiring harness in here. So on this side, what we've got is it's sitting right along that seat post there, and I tucked the wire in. These are wires that are going to be running to the back, but I tucked the wire in right there, and I left enough room that we can still slide the seat so we shouldn't have any problem there. And I did that on both sides, so both sides have that one, and this one is done a little bit different on the other side. Let me show you guys really quick. On this side, I also tied into the wiring harness, but it's a little bit more flush mount, so you can see it's right in there. You don't really see it at all. You don't see that one either. And we've got the other one, and we've got the other one right in there. Now I put one more in the back right along there. So what we're gonna do is go over there and see if we can run the wires somewhere so that you can't really see it. And then I'm gonna wire up this side, or I should say put in this side, and we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna run it right underneath here, and that's because I don't really plan on having people in the back seat. I usually always have tools and stuff in the back seat, and I'm planning to put in a sub. Yes, if you guys have stuck around this far into the video, I will be installing a custom subwoofer box with 2 10s in the trunk. And yes, if you know the trunk, you can see the seat right there. The trunk is not very big, so that's going to be interesting to see, but hopefully it fits nice. I'm having a custom built box shipped. I'm not building it myself, but I will be installing the speakers and wiring it all up. So stay tuned for that video, guys. But right now, let's throw in that last light. Moment of truth, I closed that door. Let's see how she looks. Flip that switch, and there we go. Not too bad. And in the back, you can see that one partially. I'm gonna fix that. That's because it doesn't really stick, but I am gonna get some better adhesive and actually get it to stick. But on this side, you don't really see the light. That's just a reflection actually off of the off of here. The light is actually up in there, so it's facing out instead of down, which is kind of like that one. It's facing out instead of down, but don't mind the mess in the back. I think it looks all right. And we can change the color. So if we want to go just white, that gives us a good amount of light compared to the stock ones, which also wires into the dome light. And that's also the reason I didn't want to wire those in with that, because then I would always have the dome light on if I wanted to use those. So that's the reason I wired them up separate. And yeah, so now if we go back to those, now that's the white light. If we go green, and you can kind of see it from the outside too, not too bad. But now we've got the green inside and out, and this remote actually works pretty well. Ooh, the red looks kind of nice. That's orange. There's red. Yeah, not too bad. I kind of like the red. And while you're driving, that back one isn't really too bright. Doesn't really bother you. It's just kind of like a glow. So that's all right. And there is a few music modes. So depending on 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, you can see there it's going to the sound of my voice. Pretty cool. Just a little bit of like a, I don't know, gimmick, I guess. But I think it'll be pretty cool once you're on the trails, or if you go out somewhere and you just want to park it. Here's the other music mode. And that's the final one. Not too bad, pretty cool. I think that should work pretty good with the radio on, if it's catching my voice. You can also have it just fade through the colors by itself, just like the headlights. But overall, pretty cool. I'm satisfied. The nice thing about these is they have an inline controller. So if I don't want to use the remote, so if I want to put the remote down and say I just want to use the inline controller, I can turn them on, turn them off. I can change the color. So that's a music mode. I can go back to just regular color mode. Different color, whatever color you feel like. There, it'll fade through the colors for you. And then turn it on, turn it off. There we go. I sort of fixed that one. You can't really see it as much anymore. Should be better. And super happy with how they turned out. Let me know how you guys like them. Let me know if you guys are interested in doing something like that to your car. And definitely, if you guys want, the link is down in the description. Check them out. See if you guys want to pick them up. They were pretty cheap. I think they were like $28 Canadian. So for all of you guys out in the US, they're going to be dirt cheap. And if you guys want the plug, the description for that, I mean the link for that is also down in the description. So if you guys want, check that out. See if that's something you guys want to throw in your Jeep or in your vehicle, because I will be throwing it in my other vehicles. In that thing, yeah, I do own that Civic. It is a 2008 SI. It's got the 2-liter, and it is nice to drive. It revs out to about 8,900 RPMs. Not a bad little car, but the Jeep is almost ready for its lift. Few more things, sound system, and then I think we're off to the shop to put the lift in. Like I said, guys, about 7 more days, and we will be doing that. One more thing I need to do though is clean this guy out, because last time my controller was giving me a little bit of an issue when I was winding up my synthetic cord there. So no, that should be a little bit better. And this is contact cleaner. It is not WD-40. WD-40 might do the job, but this is actually made for contacts. So don't think I'm just spraying some random stuff in there, guys. It is made for this job. And I guess I'll just leave that open now, let it dry out, and it should be good. One last thing today though, I need to go and check. And I don't drive this thing in the winter time, but I have been neglecting it a bit because I need to pump this tire. It's getting pretty low, and she could probably use a wash. Yeah, it doesn't look dirty. Like, you can still see my reflection in it, but it is quite filthy. But that's the nice thing about this paint. You never see the dirt. And I do keep the battery off, and I do keep the battery unhooked so it doesn't waste any energy, so I can still start it when it's time to start it. But hard to see in here, there is my sub box right there. So let me grab my sub out and we'll see if the speakers are still good, and I'll explain to you guys why we're getting a new box. So if you guys remember, this is the one that I was resealing when my window cracked, or when it exploded, I should say. And if you look closely, there's glass all in there, all stuck in the adhesive, because the window popped as I was sealing it. And I didn't really get to seal it properly. As you can see, it's a mess. It is not pretty, but it still rattles. And I'm not planning on resealing this thing again, so let's go take this front cover off and let's see if the subs are still good and I could throw them in a different box.
Yeah.
So you guys can see this side has a little bit of flex, and when it's actually playing music, it sounds horrible. So the speakers are still good. I don't see any rips in the foam, and the voice coils are still intact. So I think what we're gonna do is salvage the speakers and get a new box. So stay tuned for that. Next video, we will be doing a custom sound system for the TJ. Well guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. Wasn't a long one, wasn't too crazy. I hope you guys still enjoyed it. I know that I'm happy with the results. It came out pretty good. I know it'll look a lot better once we're actually out on the road and on the trail and actually using it and it's functional. But for now, it looks pretty good sitting here in the garage. Cannot complain. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know if you guys want to throw something like that in your vehicles, or if you already have, or if you guys just plain old didn't like it, because not everybody likes every mod that I do, and I understand that. But it is, at the end of the day, something that I am gonna enjoy, and hopefully it will last as long as the Jeep. Because some of these people that sell these lights, they don't make them the best, so some of these lights don't last very long. I'm hoping these are some of the better ones, and the reviews so far have said that these ones are pretty good, and I'm hoping these ones that I got will end up being decent. But they are pretty bright, they do work good, the sensitivity is pretty good, and let me show you guys a funny little tidbit really quick. So when you have the lights on and you set them to music mode, they're pretty sensitive. So hopefully they work pretty good with actual music. We will be testing that out as soon as I put the sound system in. But for now, and I'm tapping it really lightly here. I just thought that was kind of funny, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. But no, overall, I'm pretty happy. And yeah, so until next time, guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around. And if you did watch this far in the video, then next time we will be doing a custom speaker box, and hopefully it comes out pretty good. I'm hoping that it fits in the back. I will be having to keep all my tools and stuff on the back seat, but I don't plan on putting people in the back seat anyway. And maybe we'll build some kind of a custom storage unit or something instead of that back seat. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around, and hope to catch you guys in the next one. If you're new around here, jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below. Let me know what you guys liked or what you guys want to see next on the build. But until then, ride safe out there, guys. Peace.